Hello, I'm the gravedigger. Let's see who's in our story today. Be very careful, ladies and gentlemen. Hold tight to your hair, because this lady you're about to meet is a tornado, our nurse. An extremely busy, no-nonsense woman on a mission. In 1917, the Great War was still a year away from ending. And here in Canada, at Niagara Camp, more than 20,000 Polish Americans were training to go to join the Allies in France and to fight for their homeland. They wore the blue uniforms of the French army, but they were trained by Canadians. They were young, determined, and passionate. But they were also fighting another enemy, a pandemic, the Spanish flu. 25 of them are buried here in a plot that was given to Poland by the Catholic Church. This piece of land will always belong to Poland, and every year their countrymen come here to thank them. They say that as long as there is someone who can walk in a parade, that they will come here to march and to honor their young men.
Where are those shirts? And find out when Doris is getting here with the truck. I've got 40 more patients and I need to pick up supplies at Field's drugstore. The Michigan Central will be pulling in any minute now, and I dread to think what's coming on that. With all due respect, I've got a lot of young Polish boys who are very sick. And every time that train pulls in, more sick people arrive. And every time the steamer docks, more sick people. You can't stop the trains, and you can't stop the steamers. And the next thing you know, I'm dealing with more sick Polish boys. Why, today I've got a half dozen families in this town who are also complaining that they're sick. You mark my words, there's going to be more dying from this flu than what kills them over in the trenches. I'm sure germs have something to do with this. We just don't know. We've tried everything. Compresses of geese and lard, warm milk with ginger seems to help, and camphor oil around their necks. Why, I'm even trying to get them to put salt up their noses. One day we'll have vaccines, and I'm sure of it. My sister's a nurse out in Winnipeg, and they're trying vaccines out there. Some people are blaming electricity, but I can't fathom how that's even possible. I tell everyone, go wash your hands. That's probably got more to do with staying healthy than anything else. At the camp, the ones who are well are very well, especially if you saw what I saw down by the beach the other day. They were bathing in the lake, and well, that's all I will say. Plucky, that's what those Polish boys are. They believe so passionately in their country. It's been occupied for over 100 years. Hard to imagine. Those boys were very thankful for Mr. Paderewski for coming here. He's their leader for Polish independence. He came all the way to Niagara Camp to boost the morale of the boys and to honor their duty. Oh, and you should hear all the praise they have for one of their trainers, Captain Alexander Smith. He's from the Six Nations Reserve. And did you know that he received the Military Cross for Distinguished Service over in France? And then there's the camp commander, Lieutenant Colonel Arthur Dorlepin. He was one of their favorites. But their all-time favorite were the girls in the upstairs apartment on Queen Street. Or so I heard. We managed to help over 20,000 young Polish soldiers come through Niagara Camp. 20,000! Thanks in part to the French and the British governments and our government here too. I was treating a lot of them when they first arrived. It was an awful cold winter, and with just 2 blankets in a bell tent, well, that was unacceptable. And so was the 5 cents a day for their trouble. We had Elizabeth Asher who took action. She moved mountains to make sure that those Polish boys were comfortable. If you had a spare room, she took it. If you had a large landing in your house, she put a cot there. She put them up in halls, in the canneries, the warehouses, anywhere. And no one dared to refuse her. Then the authorities finally helped, got the sewage and winterizing of the camp under control. It was a big job, they got it done, even improved things in the town. If only the sickness was as easy to fix. But it wasn't. Hundreds of soldiers were sick. We lost 41. They weren't able to fight for their homeland. Some had families who came and claimed their bodies. But 24 boys and their chaplain are buried right here in St. Vincent de Paul Catholic Church, in a plot of land given to Poland. It's the pandemic. This flu. It's spreading everywhere. And it's coming back. I don't know how this is going to end.